too shabby, coming out at last. The fisherman's chilling with his bobber and hat. The surfer's riding waves, can you top that? The mermaid gnome's got sparkle and sass. This Somerset's a total blast. One dye to cut them all, oh how neat. Perfect cutouts can't be beat. Stamp and smile, you're feeling bold. Let your summer stories unfold. It's Meg's Gnomes, summer splash. Making magic with a gnomey stash. Craft your heart out, have a blast. Only at not too shabby, better grab it fast. Sun sand stamps, oh what a day. Gnome sweet gnome, the crafty way. Meg's Gnome summer splash. Get inky, stay cheeky, add these gnomes to your stash.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I am so glad you guys are here. We are doing a fun coloring hop today. Wasn't that song fun? I love it. So we're going to color up a brand new stamp set illustrated by Meg Brighter, and she is in the chat, so say hi to Meg. This is Meg's Gnomes, and this is the Summer Splash edition. And Meg is super talented. She drew all these awesome gnomes, and we have a special die that will cut out the shape of the gnome, and it will cut out each of these gnomes. So you'll only need to purchase this one die, and then it'll cut out her future gnomes and her gnomes digital. So super awesome. So we're going to color up this cute fisherman gnome today. Isn't he adorable? So I have my Copic markers ready here. In the description box in this video, I have a list of all the Copic markers that I'm using today. So if you want to copy that, and you can follow along later on, because this will be on replay. So I'm up first, and then we will be hopping directly to the next person, and that is Sandy, and she'll be on LV Handcrafted's channel. So super excited. So let's get started. We do have a limited stock right now. We're doing an online, or not an online, a live stream sale. So we have an opportunity to purchase this a little bit early. So there's just limited stock. So if you wanted to get your hands on this a little bit early, we have some stock listed. The official release date is July 15th. So we're going to color up this super cute fisherman gnome. And then I'll show you the card, how the die cuts out the outline of this guy. So, so cute. All right, I'm going to put him to the side because we're going to use the same colors that I used. Let me check the chat. Hi, everyone. Thanks for popping in, and thank you for the birthday wishes. You guys are so sweet. There was a surprise for me this morning, a super fun birthday hop with so many birthday wishes, and I got to see the cards being made that were actually sent to me. So that was super fun. What a great way to wake up this morning. Thank you guys. So I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. This is for alcohol markers. So if you color with alcohol markers, you want alcohol friendly ink. And I'm coloring on the paper I always use, the Hammer Mill Color Copy Premium, I think it's called. I love using that for my card bases for coloring. It's an overall great paper. So let's start with his nose. So I'm going to get out E04, E11, E00, and E000. Now, of course, you don't need this many to color that little nose, but we're going to do extra today. We're going to go all extra. Oh my gosh, thank you, Jessica. That was so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you for that birthday wish. You guys are the best. Yes, Meg, it's the Hammermill color copy cover cardstock with the gecko on the cover. That's how you know. So I'm going to put my marker off to the side, and hopefully I have a good angle here so you could see. I'm going to start with this dark color E04 under his nose. And this is just going to make his nose look like it's popping up. So we're going to put the darkest color at the bottom. And along the top, you're going to just find different techniques. Everybody's using different techniques, right? Everybody colors different. So it's going to be really fun. And maybe you'll find a new technique that you like. And then E00. So we're just blending out these colors. And I'm going to leave the center the lightest. I'm going to use that E00. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white space right there at the top for an extra highlight. Okay, and I usually like to go do a second pass with my coloring. I think it just makes the image pop more, brings out the colors. So I go back in, starting with the darkest. I usually color from darkest to lightest. I usually just like going that route. There's other people that like to do lighter to darker, so you just find your preference. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. And I'm going to leave that white little piece right there in the center. So there's our nose. Okay, I don't think I need those colors anymore, so I'm going to put those off to the side. Okay, let's start doing his beard because that's the funnest part for me. I love coloring hair. So I've got some warm grays for his hair. And my darkest color is W9. We got W7, W5, and W3, and W1. Okay, so I like to start with the darkest. Hi, Denise. Thank you so much. Hi, Teresa. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry if I'm not paying attention to the chat too much because for some reason when I color, it's hard for me to talk and color and then look at the chat. So, oh, Denise is asking if I'm cold. I'm cold because the air conditioning's blasted and I'm in the basement, so it's extra cold. But it's actually nice today. It's actually cooled down and the humidity's gone. So let's start with his mustache. And these little lines I'm going to emphasize. So I'm going to take the darkest and make these little wispy lines. And I'm going to do that on the top as well. And then right here in the middle. And let me know if the angle's okay for you. And then if you guys hear anything in the background, we are getting our house painted right now. I did ask them to not do the loud work during this hour, so hopefully they're not too loud. And then under his mustache, I want it dark. So I'm just going to outline the bottom of his mustache here. Okay, so then we're going to work our way down. I'm going to use W7. And I'm just going to bring out those lines just a little bit further. I'm going to take the back of my cap off because I feel like this is going to blob. If you feel like your marker is going to bloop, take the back cap off. That'll help even out the pressure. Okay, so now we're going to go W5. I did hear the rain in the background of your video, Teresa. It's crazy. You never know when you're going to get someone like mowing the lawn or a rainstorm or something. So I'm just going to go over what I did. I'm going to leave the white space. So I'm not bringing it out too much because I still want to leave a lot of white space. And I'm going to go underneath here and soften out that line that I did underneath his mustache. I forgot to do that with the W7. So let me go back so it transitions better. Okay, so now we're going to pick up our W3. And we're just doing the same thing. Each time the gap closes a little bit. And then our W1. And now I'm leaving white space. I'm not going to fill in the whole thing. This is a technique that I like to do. It makes your image a little bit dramatic looking when you leave a lot of white space. Okay, so let's move on to his beard, and then we'll go back and do some touch-ups. So I'm taking out W9 again, and is the angle okay? Are you guys seeing it okay? Because sometimes I like to choke up on my marker, and then it kind of covers up what I'm doing. So just give me a holler if I'm doing that. And we're gonna go in with all the wispies and just create these wispy lines, hair lines. Okay, there's no wrong way to do it. Just make a bunch of little hairlines, and we're going to want to do that from the top as well. So let's get some of his hair over here. Now I'm going to make some lines going down. So for our gnome, you could do this part here, skin, or you could just do hair. I did hair like those gnomes that have all hair and they're just their little noses popping out. So it's your preference. And then just make some little hair strands going down. Okay, now we're going to take W7. And it takes a little practice to leave that white space because you naturally probably just want to color in the whole thing. So it does take some discipline, I guess. And bringing the strands out a little bit. Make sure I get the sides here. Okay, so now we're going to go to our W5 and continue closing the gap here. Make it a little bit thicker. Trying to leave that white space. Okay, for our W3. And again, we're going to leave white space for our next color, W1. Okay, so we're going to close the gap a little bit more. And make sure it's blended underneath his mustache. Okay, looking pretty good. Now we can go back with our W9. You're going to need a very light touch. And you can darken up some of these little strands that you made. So you need a really light touch for this part. Let's do some on his mustache. And remember, this is all just extra. Of course, I don't color like this all the time. But when you want to get fancy with your coloring, it's kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to just go back. I'm going to skip W7. I'm going to go to W5 and just blend it out a little bit. Get some color right there. Okay, and I'm going to do W1 really quick and kind of bring this a little bit together here. Okay, so there's our beard. Let me bring this up closer. Okay, and let's work on his hat. So for his hat, let's see, I've got YG95, YG91, and BG93. And we're going to use YG95 first. I'm going to put my color down at the edges of his hat first. We're going to make this hat look rounded. And then I'm going to put some of the darker underneath this little band. And then this, I thought maybe it could be like a little crease in the hat. So I'm going to put like the dark like that. And then a little bit dark above the band. And then we will go to YG91 and just blend this color out. I'm kind of just like massaging the color, going back and forth. And for our third color, BG93, I think this gives it that army green look. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little bit of white space, like right here. And I'm going over everything that I colored. This just gives it that army green look. I'm going to leave that little slit white. Okay, I'm going to go back to the YG91 and blend this out. I'm going to leave a little bit of white. Okay, remember to leave some white space. Okay, blend this a little bit better right there. There's our hat. And then we're going to work on the jacket. I use the same colors for that. So YG95. And I'm just going to leave maybe a little bit of a highlight on his elbow. And then a little bit right here where it might be popped up a little bit. So I'm going to leave a little circle there just so I remember. And then I'm going to go underneath his beard, would be really the darkest area. And I'm going to color his little feet gray. And you can color those the same as the little jacket if you wanted to. So now YG91. Just blending this out. I'm going to leave a little bit of white. Okay, and now I'm going to get that BG93. I just like this combo. Okay, got a little bit of white space there. And now let's do his shoes. I've got W9, W7. Oh no, you know, for his shoes, I'm sorry, I have the cool grays. So I've got C9, C8, C7. Let's see, I brought all of these out. Now I'm not sure if I used them all for such a little space, but let's start with C9. Looks like Barbara ordered the gnome set. Thank you so much, Barbara. I hope you have fun coloring. All right, so I'm just going to work my way down. Let's do C8. I'm just going to leave white space in the middle of his shoe. So I'm just going to work my way. Okay, so I think I could skip C5 and go straight to C3 since my gap is really closing up. Okay, and this kind of pushes some of the color back. And then you get that nice highlight. And for his little accents here, I chose like a yellowish orange. So I've got CR15, Y17, and Y35. Oh, Carol got her order in. Thank you, Carol. She's looking forward to coloring those cuties in Blossom too. Thank you, Blossom. All right, so let's start with this color here on the edges. I just want this to be the darkest. And then the little permit, the fishing permit here. How many of you guys go fishing? Let me know in the chat if you guys are a fan of fishing. And then these little patches, I'm gonna put some color on there, leaving white space. And then I think Y17 is darker than Y35. So let's blend that out. I'm going to leave the top of that ticket a little bit lighter. Leave a little white space on our patches. And let's go to Y35. And I want to leave just some white space on my ticket. And then Do our little patches there. Oh, I forgot the band. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a highlight there in the middle. And then for our fish, I chose some greens, some lighter greens. So we've got YG25, YG23, and YG01. So I'm going to start with the darkest, the YG25. And I thought I'd have fun just doing, you know, some dots and stuff. So I think I'm going to do the dark on the bottom. And then do a little bit of this YG23 and leave this space for this lighter YG01. And then we will do some dotting so it looks like he's got scales, right? So I'll just take my darker color, the YG25, and just do a little bit of dots. Do a little bit of dotting. You can take even a darker green, like the YG97 that you were using, and just do some more dots so they show up better. Okay, so let me bring this up so you could see what's going on so far. And then we are almost done with our guy. We're going to do the worm and the, my mind is blank, the lure, the fishing lure. So I grabbed just some blue colors. We don't really need to shade with these, so I just grabbed a BG13. And I'm just going to fill in our worm. And then this fishing lure. And then for the water, B52. No shading here needed really. It's a very small space. And then you could dot these little dots here. So it's fully colored. And then we have our pole. So we can get a brown. I chose E18. Just add a little bit of brown to our pole. And if you want to do some extra details, you can get out a white Jelly Roll pen. That's always fun. And do a little bit more highlights. I like to do 3 dots. And then for the eye, I'm going to use this blue. It'd probably be fun to even do some dotting with this blue color. Okay, so that's super cute. I think we have time to cut him out. So let's get out the die, this handy die. So with your purchase of the die, on the back there's a coupon code and the website, which is lvhandcrafted.com, where you can get a free class by Med and a free digi. So awesome. And then for your die, you're going to want to get some repositionable tape. And it's going to be a little white outline all the way around, so just make it even. So center that. just even all the way around. Hold it down so it doesn't shift on you. Okay, and then we'll just run it through. So Lynn, if you're watching, did you set up the redirect for my video? Because I didn't do that. So I hope it's set up. And after this live at 11:45, you will be automatically redirected to the next colorist on this hop, Sandy. And let me remove my tape. And look how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? All right, so let me scroll through the comments. Okay, so Carol's asking Meg if she has digital images. She does. They are hosted on the LV Handcrafted website. She is so talented. The way that she can just draw. She draws, colors, and makes cards, and I'm sure she does more things than that. She's super talented. So we are so happy to have Meg illustrating this collection of gnomes. So cute. So can't wait to watch Sandy color up a gnome. All right, let me look through the comments here and see what I missed. Okay, Lynn said it's all set up to redirect to the next stop. Thank you, Lynn. I don't know if I missed something there, but yes, Blossom loves to buy multiples and she loves giving happy mail. She is so sweet. She sent me a pack of handmade like tea dyed papers, but she also used coffee and like vegetables. It was so cool. Thank you, Meg. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. So I'm super excited to watch the rest of the coloring. And since it's my birthday, my mother-in-law asked if we wanted to go out for breakfast. So after my live, I'm heading off to this, I think it's called Betsy's Diner. It's an airport, but they have like breakfast and like the window you can see the airplanes take off. So that should be fun. We're gonna do that, but I'm bringing my phone so I could watch on the way. On the way in the car, I'm gonna be watching you guys color. So I will be watching in the background. My pleasure, Lynn. And you guys watch the birthday hop. That was such a surprise. So Lynn gathered some of my crafty friends and did a super fun birthday hop. It was so cool. I got through, I think, 3 videos, so I'm going to watch the rest later, but can't wait. And it's so fun to see like how they made my birthday card. So that was really fun. So we've got 4 minutes. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask before you get redirected. Sire is on the hop, so be sure to watch his video. Are you third? I think he's third on the hop. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thanks, Carol. You guys are so sweet for being here. So I hope you enjoyed the coloring. That was really fun. And I hope you guys have fun with Meg's Gnomes. Remember, right now there's limited quantities listed. So the link is in the description box for the die and the stamp set. And so once that stock is sold out, we will be listing this on July 15th. So limited number of people will be able to craft with Meg's Gnomes early. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Teresa. Bon Marie is here. Hi, Bon. Blossom is asking what your favorite cake or dessert is. Ooh, but you can't say macaroons or tiramisu. Well, I had some tiramisu a couple days ago for an early birthday treat. My favorite cake or dessert is probably tres leches. It's 3 milks cake. It's so good. And that's my husband's favorite cake too. Thank you so much, guys, for all the birthday wishes. And don't forget to check out Meg's digitals on lbhandcrafted.com. She's got some great stuff over there, and she's got classes. And you'll see she's an amazing colorist. You'll see her on the hop. I think she's the last one on the stop. Okay, so we have 1 minute and I will end the live stream and hopefully see you over on the next stop. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the stream if you can so more people can see the stream. So I hope you guys have a great time on the hop. Have a fabulous day. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you in the next stop. Bye, guys.